Hello, this is Dr. Mewborn, and this is History of the Baptists. We're looking at the review for the final examination today, so good to be with you. This won't take very long, but I definitely want to give you some slides and kind of do a walkthrough very quickly on or about the final examination. The first thing I'd want you to know about is the Halfway Covenant of 1662. This is a good slide to understand a little bit of what was going on at that time. You can see in the yellow box there, churches responded with the Halfway Covenant, which gave full church membership to people who had not had a conversion experience. So know a little bit about the Halfway Covenant. That's important. Preachers of the Great Awakening definitely know 4 or 5 sentences, well, 5 sentences definitely, but know about Jonathan Edwards, know some things about him, 4 or 5 things that would be really important, and so make sure that can be put into the exam. George Whitefield is another. Please know 4 or 5 things about him that you can put out and lay out in a paragraph form, and so know some different things about him, some from the slides. You might have some other notes as well. Sermons of the Great Awakening. This has to do with what were the sermons like during the Great Awakening, why were they so effective, and understanding that the preaching that went forth at that time was truly based a lot on fear and getting people to believe something because they were afraid of something else. And so there was a lot of this type of preaching, what we call hellfire and brimstone preaching. Know about that. That'd be really important for the examination. The differences between regular and separate Baptists. Know some differences in their worship, their education, things like that. That would be good. I'm going to pass over this one. That's not too important. The main focus of the associations. What were some of the main focuses of Baptist associations? And this is how they started. This is what they wanted to do. Some associations don't do this today, but this is what they should be doing. And you can see there doctrinal training, pastoral and practical training for pastors, church relations, stuff like that, benevolent work for churches, fellowship with the lonely and persecuted pastors, and then, of course, training younger pastors to preach. That was a big deal as well. The 2 greatest movements that impacted religious liberty in America, know those, the Great Awakening and the Enlightenment, know what that's all about. It would be good if you knew this president, President James Madison, and just know the uniqueness of his life, and then also why he was significant. And you see that he's the father of the Constitution, statesman, all those things. But also the last bullet point there says Madison believed that John Leland and the Baptists were major players in the fight for religious liberty. So he actually believed that, and he accredited them with that, or referenced them on that point. The downgrade controversy, be able to summarize the downgrade controversy, that would be good. Different slides on that in this presentation. You see Charles Spurgeon here. Know 4 or 5 things about him. Be able to put those in paragraph form. That'd be really good. Baptists in Canada. Know the 2 main reasons for Baptist doctrine and practice, how it migrated to Canada or how it got there. And so write down a couple of these things, how it got there. Also, Baptist on missions, focusing on this. There was a lot of people that were trying to convert Baptists to their beliefs. And if you can, go ahead and write maybe a sentence for each of these. But Unitarians, Universalists, these are the people that are trying to convert Baptists, Mormons, Campbellites, those types of people. So make sure that you know those and be able to explain a little bit who they were, what they believed, that type of thing. The significant controversies leading to the split between the Northern and Southern Baptists. It would be good to know these things. Abolition, the political reasons or the moral reasons why there was a split, the slavery issue. Actually, demographic issue was a big deal too. You got a bunch of Baptists in the northeast, and for them to come together with the far south, it's not easy. And so they said, well, why don't we break off and do different associations, because that'll help us stay together more, and that's some of the reasoning why they did what they did. So that'd be important to know. This is also leading up to why there was the split between the Northern and Southern Baptists. So this would be good to know as well. Why were the Northern Baptists, why were they? What were they facing in their lives? And this is a great question. The European immigration, organized labor, development of industrial economy, it ushered in so many different people, so many ideas. There was a lot of pain and suffering taking place because there wasn't, everything didn't work so smoothly, so it caused poverty. It caused the evil form of capitalism. It caused some problems. And so that ushered in the social gospel. We see that. Know some thoughts definitely about Lottie Moon, and make sure that you can put together a paragraph on her, make 5 sentences for that. The landmark teachings, what were the main teachings? There are 6 things given here, and so make sure that you know those. Baptist churches are the only true churches in the world. The true church is local, visible institution. Number 3, the churches and the kingdom of God are coterminous. 4, there must be no pulpit affiliation with non-Baptists. 5, only a church can do churchly acts. Number 6, Baptist churches have always existed in every age by an unbroken historical succession. Know those 6 things about landmarkism. That's important. Know about Walter Rauschenbusch. This is, of course, he spearheaded what we call the social gospel movement. He was a theologian. He was a professor. He was a pastor. And so know about him. Charles Sheldon, we get the book In His Steps, possibly, or one of the most well-known books that has had an impact even today when we talk about the What Would Jesus Do movement. Know about him. Also, Northern Baptist Convention, it started in 1907, and be able to talk a little bit about that general meeting, what was going on, with how they formed. Please be able to connect the Northern Baptists with the ecumenical movement and how they were just bringing in different people from all different denominations into the Northern Baptist movement, or just associating with them, and being able to explain that just a little bit. The fundamentalist modernist controversy, be able to understand, or be able to write down, articulate this schism, and be able to explain why or what was happening during this time, and why it's significant. And then here are some of the controversies. It'd be really good to know this. The different controversies at the time: toy controversy, evolution controversy, Eliot controversy, Broadman Bible commentary controversy, higher criticism, and then that leads you into what we know as the controversy with the conservative resurgence and what we call the Reformation of the Southern Baptist Convention. So those are some things that I'd love for you to know. And all right, well, God bless you, and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.